Let's see what the diver's doing. He's going to remove this bristle worm that we've had a heck of a time trying to get a hold of. So Joe thinks he sees the creature back inside there. There he is, there he is, look at that. Look at the size of that bristle worm. Oh my gosh. Joe has done surgery. We're talking cheeseburger in paradise tonight for Joe. We're gonna get him a steak. All the years, there's been a lot of diving in aquariums. I started diving at the Fontainebleau Hilton when I was a kid, somewhere around 15, 16 years old, servicing that particular, what at that time was an artificial reef aquarium. And we do a lot of diving. You gotta have a buddy to dive with, the right gear, you've gotta follow the rules, and you really gotta be careful out there because diving in 7 feet of water can be dangerous.
Hey guys, so I am a scuba diver. In this bag I have here is everything I bring to whatever dive trip I would like to go on. What I like to bring first is some thermal gear. First things first, my dive suit. This is 3 millimeters and it will cover from my neck down. So it'll even cover all the way up to my wrists and to my ankles. Next, I got my dive booties. This is very handy whenever I want to do something like a shore dive where there could be a lot of sharp rocks to step on, but it's also good to keep my feet warm. Next on the agenda, I got my fins. So these fins are pretty sturdy, so they can really handle beating, but they're also very flexible. So if I have quite a strong current, I'll be able to pass by no problem. This is my regulator. So the regulator allows the air from my scuba tank to reach to me. So I'll be breathing in for my first stage, and for any sort of emergencies, I have my alternative stage. I also have my gauge, which will tell me how much air I have. I also have my gauge, which will tell me how deep I'm going, how much air I have, and this one also has a compass, so I'll know where direction I'm facing. This is by far my most personalized gear, my mask. I'm a person who needs prescription lenses, and when you're diving underwater, you can't really bring your glasses with you. So these have corrective lenses, so I'll be able to see underwater as if I do have my glasses. Next is my BCD vest. This will help me maintain my buoyancy underwater, so I can inflate it with air to go a little bit higher, or I can deflate it so I can go a little lower. I also have these pockets so I can put weight, so I'll be able to go down and sink like a rock essentially. I also have a flashlight, so if I happen to want to do a night dive or look under rocks, I'll be able to see. And then I have my safety sausage. And whenever I go up to the surface, I can use this to alert the boat that, hey, I'm here, pick me up, or I can inflate it and just drag it along wherever I go so the boat can keep an eye on me. I also have the weights that will go in my BCB, and I also have gloves for more thermal protection. These are also a lot more sturdier, so if I ever want to grab something, like if I'm going hunting for lionfish, for example, this will be a safety precaution to have. And of course, last but not least, a snorkel. You'll never know when, for emergencies, you run out of air and you'll need either the snorkel to help you reach the boat, or if you want to conserve your air so you can have even more when you get to the dive site. That's just about it for my dive bags.
So today we're going to be diving in the aquarium. We've got a couple different corals down in here. Ryan's going to acclimate them a little bit in a bin upstairs and hand them to me when I'm down inside of the aquarium. The first steps to diving in any aquarium is to make sure that you have your safety buddy. That's Ryan over here. It's a very, very safe dive, but it is a requirement. You have to have somebody as a safety diver. One of the first things I do is put on my super suit, check all my gear, make sure I have everything I need, put some defog inside of my mask, hook up my rig. I believe this is about a 30 or 40 foot hose. I'll hook that up to my dive tank. Inside of here, we have ankle weights. We have a weight belt and ankle weights. The ankle weights help make sure you don't go horizontal, which is your natural diving position out in the ocean. You don't really dive straight up, but these help my feet stay on the ground so I'm not flailing around and kicking down any corals. And these two tanks will last a pretty significant amount of time. I could probably do 6 to 8 dives depending on the tasks that I need to do that day, whether it's siphoning, whether it's cleaning different areas, whether it's moving corals or planting corals. But I'll be able to do quite a few dives all on the same 2 dive tanks. This rock structure was designed first and foremost to be able to accommodate a diver inside of the aquarium. So these rocks right here are specifically designed to be extremely stable. You can see where these these two pincushion urchins are right now, that's my foot spot. When I hop in, I'm gonna have a ladder up on the top, and then I have always a really safe place to put my foot. Not all the rocks inside of here are like that, and there are certain areas where I really don't want to touch. The last thing that you want to do is knock over a big stack of rocks and have a big mess and potentially scratch the acrylic, which is a very delicate surface, so we have to always be careful when we're around inside of the aquarium. So when I'm diving, I actually utilize my breath as almost a BCD while I'm inside of the aquarium. As it's not very deep and you're not moving up and down in a water column, it's okay to hold your breath for a period of time. Generally, when you're diving out in the ocean, that's not a good idea because the air expands inside of your lungs, and if you're going up while you're holding your breath, it can cause serious complications with being able to breathe or just expanding your lungs too big for what they should be. And so when I'm inside of the aquarium, I'll be able to regulate where my body is, and if I'm placing corals, I can basically hold on to a coral, let air out of my lungs, and I'll sink slowly down and then breathe in a little bit, and it'll keep me stable in different locations inside of the aquarium rather than bouncing up and down and floating all around. When I'm inside of the aquarium, it's a cooler temperature than what humans are subject to on an every single day kind of basis. So I do need some thermal protection depending on how long the dive is. Things like this hood are some of the most important things to wear if you're doing a long dive at a cooler temperature, because a lot of the heat loss that you experience when you're diving anywhere is through your head, actually. So it's a very important piece of gear that keeps me nice and warm and comfortable inside of the aquarium while I'm doing a dive.
All of our divers are certified in-house. We have Melissa, we have Haley, we have Josh, Gio, Joe, myself, Jolene, just lots of certified divers here. Alex is certified, and it's important that we stay up on our game, understand the rules of diving, and always be safe in an aquarium, just like you would be in the ocean. It's an important aspect that we really clean the aquariums nice and carefully and be safe, very important.
So please like, subscribe, and send us your questions for the next time we do a video.